These are 6 obvious things. The world's going to be more digital, more mobile, more social, more emerging markets, more agile and speedy, and more big data driven. But there are 6 less obvious things about the future. So this is what we're now betting our entire company on. And if it was just me as a madman doing it, and I do a lot of madman stuff for our organization, you'd say, okay, but we are telling people this is what we're doing. The first, the future isn't only going to be digital. Okay? The future is also going to be analog. And there are 2 reasons for it. The first is, if you notice, almost every analog company is trying to be digital, and every digital company is trying to be analog. When you think about things like Foursquare, is that analog or is that digital? When you think about what happens on Facebook, people, places, food porn, is that analog or digital? Second reason for that basically is human beings are analog. We are not digital. Therefore, we don't do zeros and ones. We basically make decisions like maybe, could be, should be, depends on my mood. Therefore, storytelling will matter, brands will matter. And the reality of it is, despite what everybody tells you about a data-driven world, which we, by the way, believe in, we choose with our hearts and we use numbers to justify what we just did. The future is about self-marketing. Marketing is being outsourced to the end user. Marketers are no longer marketers. We are marketers. Think about how you plan a vacation, buy a car, decide what to eat for dinner. When someone in your family's got cancer, what do? You're self-marketing. You're self-learning. You're asking other people. You're using search, social, reviews. Third, advertising is more about acts, not ads. In fact, it's about utilities and services and experiences. And it's really going to basically be about that term that has come through, which is authenticity. The best format of advertising will be to cut your advertising budget and improve your product and service. Yes, this is from a global advertising agency. And we said it to Wall Street. Our stock price, by the way, went up 6%. The future of TV will come from the slime. Could not agree more with the idea of glass. But what tends to basically happen is we are fixated on it coming from the CBSs and NBCs and ABCs of the world. They will be players, but it's more likely to come from the YouTubes of the world, from the Netflixes of the world, from the Amazons of the world. And by the way, these are American brands, but as we heard, there are many dominant brands from China, many dominant brands in India. And I spend 1 week every quarter in India, 1 week every quarter in China, because somebody's decided that the future is China and India and not just digital. So, to a great extent, and you heard the differences between China and India, and which are much more cogently put. But the future of TV will come from the slime, which basically means it'll be IP delivered, connected across not just screens, but connected across glass and connected across devices. Future is more about access, less about ownership. Who the hell cares about ownership? Steve Jobs was completely wrong. In a world of Spotify, why the hell do you want to actually download songs from iTunes? Okay, in a world of Uber, Airbnb, Zipcar, we are moving to a generation where access is far more important. Everybody talks about owning data. I'm active on Twitter. A tweet is basically half-life is now 4 minutes. Who the hell cares about owning something that is obsolete? It's the ability to access and combine data in real time to be predictive moving forward versus capturing it in a goddamn cylinder and torturing it. Okay, it's completely different. And which is to a certain extent a great advantage for us because we haven't made any legacy investments in those areas, which will hold down a few people. Which is, thank the Lord I was right on that one. This is the single most important thing, which most of us marketers forget. Marketing is a huge growth category. Huge growth category. How huge? Let's think about it a little bit different. And marketing, advertising, I'm not running away from the word advertising. Advertising, branding, marketing, whatever you call it, the general space. The reason it's a huge category is because, as Philip Kotler taught me many years ago, though he was at Northwestern and I was at Chicago, marketing is understanding and meeting customer requirements. I've been in the business for 31 years. For 20 of the 31 years, we did nothing of the sort. Okay, we made our money through logistics, procurement, consolidation, scanners, distributing products to Walmart. Okay, that's basically how most of the revenue was made. This is my finance background. I saw where the money was made. About 10 years ago, because of Netscape, because of a lot of other things, people are really empowered. We're now really getting empowered. So now people have to actually learn how to market. So our basic belief is we're entering to an empowered marketing for an empowered age. All I'm trying to do with my holding company is take us from a 1.5 multiple of revenue to 2 times multiple of revenue. These guys are 10 times multiple of revenue. Guess who funds all of these people? Marketers. Somebody forgot that it's marketers that are funding all these people. That's all, right? It's marketers. And so the whole idea is people matter, marketers matter. And we sometimes forget that. How big? Here are numbers that we put forth. So we're building our company on 3 big things. We call them Commerce Plus, Content, and Next Generation Storytelling. Remember, I work for a French company, so these are in euros. Multiply by 1.3 for dollars. Commerce, or Commerce Plus, where marketing and commerce become the same thing. You can check in on Foursquare, you can buy stuff. You can transact on Facebook. That's a $1 trillion opportunity, euros. These are 2016 numbers. Our predictions for what we were going to do is 2018. So these are all much before 2020. Second is content. And this is the curating, distribution, and responding to content across glass. 100 billion. This is not in a movie content and books and all those other stuff, which we don't get ourselves into. And then next generation storytelling, we believe will be a 500 billion euro opportunity because everything that we consider today to be media will actually evolve to next generation storytelling. So that's what our thought is. What should we do? What are we doing? We decided to put some reality behind this. So the first reality we put was 3 billion euros. So we've committed 3 billion euros, which is therefore 500 million euros a year for the next 6 years, just for acquisitions to make this happen. And these are acquisitions in these spaces. Okay, just for that, 500 billion euros. We have completely re-architected. We took VivaKi, we blew it up into smithereens, which is a company that I worked at, and we redid it in a completely new way, which has created hysterics within our organization, which is fantastic. Okay, so what we've basically done is we've removed what used to be a digital and media agency subholding company. We removed the subholding company. We had a technology platform that supported the digital and media companies. We've now basically gone from that sandwich where we had Razorfish, Digitas, SMG, Zenith Optimedia. We've gone from a sandwich to an open-faced baguette. No top holding company, gone. We need one holding company. We were very successful. We drove 40% of the revenue and 75% of the growth. Problem, what about the other 60%? Right? How do we do storytelling just with these companies? So what happens is now the baguette supports all of our brands. We have products and solutions, data and integration. I do strategy and innovation across the whole thing, and also emerging opportunities and partnerships is what I'm now responsible for. But it's really interesting in a connected world what those emerging opportunities and partnerships are, which are working with startups, incubating brand new companies with completely new models like Finch 15, which we just launched, working with publishers and partnering in new modes like the pool. All of our enterprise and ad tech partnerships, from Google to BlueKai to Facebook to Foursquare to just about everything. China, India. Okay, that's all. That's the area sort of I watch over. But what's very important as we move forward here is the future is really bright. We just have to learn 4 things, and I'll end up with that. The first is the biggest problem is organizational design. Our organizations are optimized for today. Till we incentivize people differently, till we train people differently, till we hire people differently, we will basically be the same old, okay? Because there are only 2 ways to change a company: change people's mindsets or change the people. That's all. Everything else is total BS. We don't think our €3 billion acquisition is going to do it. It's going to buy new people. That's what it's going to buy, more than anything else, which is number one. Number two, collaboration. In an open and networked world, we are not in a world of frenemies. We're in a world of friends because we need all the friends we can possibly get. In a world of abundance, why are we fighting a share game, right? We have to look at it in a completely different world. This is if we're going to, so that's the second. Third is talent. We got to get talent back into this industry. And the only way to get talent back in this industry is to change the business models. We cannot be a fee-for-service commoditized to death. So to a certain extent, VivaKi across the platform has no clients. I insisted on that. Our clients are the agencies, but then we do a lot of other new things. No legacy contracts will hold us down, okay? Because it just can't. Because we will be killed to death under that particular model. And the fourth, which I think is extremely, extremely important, besides all of these, is personal reinvention. Okay, and one of the big things is it's very hard when you think about personal reinvention. Every single thing that we now do, we put forth in the public world. So my entire investor speech, I obviously shared with you, but I wrote the speech and I put it out on a blog and on Twitter. Okay, we keep talking about living in a transparent world. How come we don't? When I look at my executives and they say, hey, we're all social, I said, how come you aren't? Because authenticity begins with the person who claims that authenticity is important. Thanks.